Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, lived a young boy who was blind from birth. While he couldn't see the world with his eyes, he possessed an extraordinary gift, could weave stories so vivid, so enchanting, that they could transport anyone to magical lands, distant stars, and forgotten kingdoms. His imagination was a universe of its own, boundless and brilliant. Yet, the other children in the village couldn't see past his blindness. They would mock him, calling him names and taunting him for being different. What good is a storyteller who can't even see the world he talks about? They'd sneer. Their cruel words were like 1,000 tiny needles, pricking at his heart until it was heavy with sorrow. The boy's vibrant world of stories began to fade, replaced by a bleak and colorless despair. He started to believe their taunts, thinking of his blindness not just as a lack of sight, but as a fundamental flaw that made him worthless. The joy he once found in creating tales evaporated, leaving a hollow ache in its place. He would sit alone for hours under the shade of a large banyan tree, the laughter of other children feeling like a distant storm he couldn't escape. Loneliness became his only companion, and dark thoughts began to creep into his mind. He felt like a broken toy, discarded and useless. The weight of his sadness grew so immense that he began to wonder if it would be better to simply disappear. To end the pain once and for all, one afternoon, as he sat lost in his despair, a wise old monk who was passing through the village noticed the profound sadness etched on the boy's face. The monk, known for his gentle spirit and deep wisdom, sat down beside him. He didn't offer empty platitudes or simple comforts. Instead, he began to tell a story. "Let me tell you about a forest not far from here," the monk began, his voice calm and soothing. In this forest stood a grove of tall, magnificent trees. They all grew straight and proud, reaching for the sky. All except for one. This one tree was different. Its trunk was gnarled and twisted, its branches bent into awkward, crooked shapes. It was, by all accounts, an imperfect tree. The monk continued, painting a picture with his words. The other trees would often whisper about the bent tree. "What a shame," they'd say. "It's so ugly and useless. It will never be good for anything." The bent tree heard their whispers and felt a deep sense of shame. It wished it could be straight and tall like the others, useful and admired. The boy listened intently, feeling a strange connection to this crooked tree. He could almost feel its shame, as if it were his own. The monk paused, letting the silence hang in the air for a moment before he went on. Then one day a group of lumberjacks came to the forest. They walked through the grove, their sharp axes gleaming in the sunlight. They looked at the tall, straight trees with admiration. "These are perfect," they exclaimed. "Their wood is straight and strong. It will be perfect for building houses and furniture." And so, one by one, they chopped down all the straight, beautiful trees until the grove was almost empty. The boy's breath caught in his throat. "What about the bent tree?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. The monk smiled gently. The lumberjacks walked right past the bent tree. They glanced at its twisted trunk and crooked branches and scoffed. "This one is useless," they said. "Its wood is bent and gnarled. Can't use it for anything." And so they left it alone. The bent tree, the one that had been mocked for its imperfections, was the only one left standing, was saved, not in spite of its flaws, but because of them. Its crookedness, which it had always seen as a weakness, became its greatest strength, provided shade for travelers, a home for birds. And its unusual shape became a landmark, a symbol of resilience for all to see. The monk then turned his gaze to the boy, his eyes full of understanding. "My child," he said softly, "you are like that bent tree. You believe your blindness is a weakness, a flaw that makes you less than others. But have you ever considered that it might be your greatest strength? While the other children see with their eyes, they are blind to the kindness in their hearts. They see only the surface, but they cannot see the truth. You, on the other hand, cannot see with your eyes, and so you have learned to see with your heart. Your blindness is not a limitation. It is a doorway. It allows you to perceive the world in a way no one else can. It fuels your imagination, allowing you to create stories so profound, so full of emotion and wisdom, because they come from a place deeper than sight. What they see as a defect is actually the very source of your unique and powerful gift." A profound shift happened within the boy. The monk's words were like a key, unlocking a door in his mind that had been bolted shut by self-doubt and sorrow. For the first time, he didn't see his blindness as a curse, but as a different way of being. He was not broken, he was unique. He was not less, he was different. The weight on his heart began to lift, replaced by a new, unfamiliar feeling: pride. He realized that his ability to tell stories wasn't just a hobby. It was his purpose. His imperfection was the very thing that made his stories so special. He could describe the feeling of the sun on one's skin, the sound of the wind whispering through the leaves, and the ache of a lonely heart with a depth that someone who relied only on sight could never capture. From that day forward, the boy's life was transformed. He no longer hid in the shadows. He embraced his uniqueness with confidence and joy. He began to tell his stories again, but this time, they were different. They were infused with a new layer of wisdom, a deeper understanding of life's complexities. He told stories of courage, of resilience, and of finding beauty in the unexpected. And at the heart of all his tales was the parable of the bent tree, a lesson he shared with everyone who would listen. He became the village's most cherished storyteller. People would travel from miles around just to sit and listen to the blind boy who could see more than anyone. His once cruel peers now looked at him with awe and respect, finally understanding that his perceived weakness was, in fact, his most incredible strength. This story teaches us a powerful truth: no one is perfect, and more importantly, no one needs to be. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to compare ourselves to others, to strive for an unattainable ideal of perfection. But this constant comparison is a thief of joy. It leads to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and unhappiness. We look at others' highlight reels on social media and measure our own behind-the-scenes struggles against them, forgetting that everyone has their own bent branches. Every single one of us has a unique set of characteristics, circumstances, and experiences. What one person might see as a flaw, you might see as a quirk. And what you might see as a weakness could very well be your greatest, most defining asset. Think about it. Your sensitivity might make you a more empathetic friend. Your introversion might fuel your creativity. Your unusual path in life might give you a perspective that no one else has. These are not flaws to be fixed. They are facets of your identity to be embraced. Your uniqueness is not a liability. It is your superpower. Learning to accept and love your own crooked parts is the first step toward a truly meaningful and fulfilling life. It's about shifting your perspective from what's wrong with me. Instead of trying to be a straight tree in a forest of straight trees, find the beauty and strength in your own unique shape. Celebrate what makes you different, because that is the very thing that makes you you. That is where your true power lies. So be the bent tree. Stand tall in your uniqueness, and you'll find a resilience and purpose you never thought possible. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that I hope will inspire and uplift you. And remember, your story is unique and valuable. Embrace it. I'll see you in the next video.